For 3 terrible days last month, Los Angeles burned as 60 people died in a wave of rioting, looting and thuggery. The Australian Sporting Shooters Association made headlines when its president Ted Drain told us the riots would never have happened if the citizens had all been armed, a view greeted with scepticism by some authorities, but wholeheartedly supported by the residents of one American town. Kennesaw is the only place on earth where all households must own a gun by law. And as Martin King reports, it appears criminals take heed.
People get killed for no reason at all, so I just feel better having it with me.
If it comes down to a point whether it's the criminal's life or your life, then it's going to be his if I have anything to say about it.
Down south in Georgia, the little town of Kennesaw is celebrating the 10th anniversary of a remarkable law. Since 1982, it's been compulsory for every citizen here to own a gun, and the police couldn't be happier.
We have never had a problem with the guns. We have never had anybody that's been accidentally shot. We have never had anybody that's been shot breaking into a house. We don't have any problems with the guns.
Dwayne Wilson is Kennesaw's police chief.
It's just giving the individual the opportunity of protecting themselves, saving maybe their lives or some loved one's life.
Would you encourage that citizen to use his or her gun?
If it's absolutely necessary, yes, I would.
And if they killed somebody?
Well,
what happens then?
It's justifiable homicide.
Australians would find that frightening.
If you're standing there in your own home and with your family and someone breaks into your home with a knife, a club, or a gun, or whatever the case may be, their intention is not to come in and bid you a good night. Their intention is to harm you and your family. And if you have the opportunity to stop that from happening, then I, for one, I'd rather see those people harmed than I had to see my wife and children harmed. Now, that's the intent.
You can't just dismiss Kennesaw as a small hick town deep in the south. The people around here are deadly serious about their guns and their rights, and for a very good reason. Since the law was enacted, crime, in particular crime involving guns, has dropped by almost 80%, even though the population has almost doubled.
I'm proud of the fact that we've shown the other side of gun control, and that is when the households are armed, the criminals stay away.
Mayor J.O. Stevenson is Kennesaw's exterminator, of insects that is, but if he was bugged by a criminal, there's no doubt who'd come off second best. You wouldn't hesitate to kill somebody if you thought they were a threat to you?
That's true.
No qualms whatsoever?
Not at all.
This pistol-packing mayor makes sure there's a gun wherever he goes.
Well, I've got about 4 at home and 1 in my truck and 1 in my office.
But Mayor Stevenson sounds positively gun-shy compared with Dent Myers, known round here as Wildman. Every year, Wildman and his mates get together to act out some of the big battles of the American Civil War. Their guns might be authentic, but the outcome of the battle isn't. Here, the South always wins.
One of the large naval jacks.
Wildman runs a tumble-down shop selling Civil War antiques. Guns are his life, and it probably won't surprise you to learn he's never been bothered by shoplifters. Under what circumstances would you use a gun?
Well, if my life was threatened or someone else's life was threatened, my property was jeopardized, or anything that would put me in jeopardy or someone else that I knew or didn't know, I would try to deter them.
So you have no hesitation?
None whatsoever. No qualms. And make sure that you kill them, though. Don't let them go to court. See, they can't testify against you.
You serious?
and Roebuck. Very.
For a southerner slightly to the right of the Ku Klux Klan, Wildman has strong views on what to do about America's crime problems.
Ban ethnics and leave the guns alone. Because they perpetuate about 90% of all the crime that's committed.
Ethnics?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you mean?
I mean, colored folk, Mexicans, those transits. Because the prisons now are full of just that type of people, and they have no morals, no conscience or anything. And they're generally on some kind of mind-altering drug if they got a mind to alter. And they'll do anything just to get that drug.
What do criminals think of this town?
They'd think it'd be best to avoid it. Matter of fact, some of the ones in prison have made that statement. They wouldn't go to Kennesaw.
Ruth and Rob Carnevale are a nice old couple who prefer to leave nothing to chance.
Don't do this unless you intend to shoot to kill.
I just wish you stopped waving it around in my face, that's all. They may be model senior citizens, but these two know just what to do if confronted by a prowler on the porch.
Kill him outside, drag him in the house dead is easier.
Oh. Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Because you drag him, if you kill him outside, and he can get a good lawyer and say, well, the man was just trespassing, he was drunk or something, or he was, forgot where he lived.
So you shoot him outside.
And drag
him in the house.
Drag him in the house.
And then call the police,
Call the
and,
police
say,
and say,
he broke in.
and tried to kill me.
And don't have to say try to kill me. He
Try
broke
to
into
harm
my
us.
house. He broke into the house. And I protected myself.
And you got no problem with just running?
The message is keep away from Kennesaw, or else you're liable to get shot and killed.
Sounds like good advice. Martin King and Southern Justice in